Hey everybody, it's Wargods 61 here, Kevin. I got a mail update. This is actually probably going to be one of four over the last 3 months. This one's fairly large, but I got to get something ordered first here. If I can find it. Should have done that before I even. Okay. First up, this is in my top 3 of 2020 so far. I don't know where it's going to end up by the end of the year, but right now it's in the top 3. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3 right now. I don't know yet. But I did an interview with this band here about 3 weeks ago, Siren. Siren is a 80s heavy metal band from Florida. And I did an interview with them about 3 weeks ago because of their new release that they put together. They came out with Up From the Depths on Storm Spell Records, put out a CD of that, which was kind of a compilation of music from a couple of albums. One I'll show you. The other one is Close to Home. No Place Like Home, I believe that's what I forget. Anyway, that was their first official release album that came out in like '84. But they had some demo stuff prior to that, and then they had some demo stuff after that. Well, Up From the Depths was a compilation of all that was put on CD and eventually put on vinyl, 3-album set, which was done very, very good. It's done by Underground Power Records out of Germany. Well, anyway, since they did a show over in Germany last year, and the response was overwhelming, and so they decided to record a new album, and they did record an awesome slice of killer heavy metal. It's just fantastic album. I just can't say enough about this. When I first bought the digital release, because that's all I could get, I bought it, so I supported the band, and I've been playing it nonstop. So I interviewed the band, but they released a new album that just was released about a month ago. It's called Siren, Back from the Dead. 15 tracks, all the original members, minus one, and fantastic album. Like I say, it's in my top 3 easy right now. Just some great traditional 80s metal style sound that, in my opinion, I think it's their best album they ever put out. But they were scheduled to go over to Headbangers Open Air and Keep It True Festival this year, but of course with COVID-19 it shut everything down. But anyway, I interviewed them and they sent me a package. During that interview, I'd been looking for one album, and I see it on Discogs, I see it on eBay, but they want a lot of money for it, and it's quite rare to find. So I was interviewing the band, and one of the members said, well, I have a copy, I'll show you it. He said, I have a copy of it that I'll send you, and which was awesome. But they sent me a package, they sent me a shirt, they sent me this promo release of Back from the Dead, which is out, but it's only available over in Europe and from Germany, and they're not shipping to the States right now. But I did find a copy of this on vinyl in UK that is on its way, hopefully, and I did order another one from I can't remember what it was, but anyway, so they sent me this, the shirt, they sent me a beer koozie for a bottle, very cool. It's just a collector, it'll go up on my wall. And then they sent me this grail, that I had been looking for, and this is an OG. It's put out by Wargods, distributed by SPV. This was released in, I think it was '89. This is Siren and Financial Suicide. This is a very rare album to find. I mean, you can find it, but it is very pricey. And they sent that to me as well. This is the original inners. I love their logo. It is Wargods, so it is an OG. And I've seen this thing go anywhere from $75 to $300. And I interviewed the band, and one of the members sent me this. He didn't have to do that, but he did. And I interviewed all 5 guys. Awesome guys, awesome band. Very, very knowledgeable in knowing their metal, even metal bands nowadays, especially. I was shocked when they were telling me about, they knew of the new wave of traditional heavy metal genre that's around, and they love a lot of those bands in that genre because those are bands that are kind of keeping music from the 80s alive, you know, and making new music, and they were proud of that style and that genre. So like I say, they didn't have to send me this, but on this particular album, this has Douglas Lee on lead vocals. Very reminiscent. You can definitely tell his vocals are unique to Siren. But this does not have Ed Aborn on drums. He had left, but it has David Smith on drums. But it still has Douglas Lee, the original lead vocalist, and I believe it is Brian Hendrickson was also one of the lead or original members. But anyway, Financial Suicide from Siren. Very hard to come by. So anyway, moving on. I had picked up a couple of, in fact I picked up 3 of these, and I sent them out to a couple of VC members. Of course, Scott showed this earlier. Of course, I sent him the Freeway CD and the vinyl. Well, I picked up this one too. It took a while for these to come out, but great album. If you like Thin Lizzy, UFO style, you're gonna like this. Maybe it has a little hauntish style in it too. You hear the vocals. If you're familiar with Haunt, Trevor Church of Haunt, you can hit that. It has that same vocal style. So Freeway's great album. We're still listening to Metal Church, Blessing in Disguise. I picked up the new Gravedigger, one of their better albums in probably the last 3. Of course, this is Fields of Blood on vinyl. Great album. I also picked up, I don't know if you can see it up here. I picked up this box set over at Napalm Records for, I believe that's the label that was putting this out. So I picked this up. It was a fairly decent price, but here's what you get in it. It kind of pissed me off that this is bent, the cover or the box. You get a hip flask, you get a funnel, you get the CD, and you also get a bootleg edition of Healed in Japan, as well as the 7-inch As Long as We Live. The B-side is Lions of the Den. It's an instrumental. So, very cool box set. Usually with these, they're more of a collectability for me. I'll buy the CDs later, but I know you probably won't buy this unless you have the box set. So, I was happy to pick this up. I buy stuff like that. Fields of Dreams. Alright, on with the albums. This I don't want to show you yet. So we all know that a third member of Sweet passed away within the last 10 days, Steve Priest of Sweet. I did a two-part dedication on Steve Priest, and now I'm going to forget. He just passed as well. Can't think of it. But anyway, I did a little over hour dedication of some Sweet music, and so as a result, I went over to Discogs to buy some Sweet music, and I picked up these that I did not have. And of course, those familiar with Sweet are familiar with probably Give Us a Wink and Desolation Boulevard. Probably the two biggest selling albums. But if you advance a little bit farther into their catalog, which I think is different than the early Sweet stuff when they were a four-member and Steve Conley was on vocals. Well, he had left and went on to pursue other endeavors, and as a result they became a three-piece. Not particularly on these, but later albums. I think this one was probably one of them. But I picked up, I believe this is the US cover. I picked up Sweet 4, which has, well, not really a lot of hits on it, but it has Scott, Priest, and Tucker, so they became a three-piece on this. And I think the one after this is definitely is more progressive rock in nature. This is kind of a more, well, it's kind of a mix of maybe a little hard rock and maybe a little progressive elements in this, but still a good album. Definitely check out their older albums. I mean, they're surprisingly really good albums. And this one was released in 1980. So there was one album after this, I believe, or two albums after this. I don't have those. But anyway, this was a very good album. I always loved this album. I love the track. Love Is Like Oxygen. I think one of their best songs. It's definitely a little more keyboard influenced. It has some progressive natures in this album. It still has the four members in it, as you can see here. But this is Sweet, Level-Headed. Great album. This one came out in 1977, and I believe this was the last album with Brian Conley, not Steve Conley. Brian Conley was in. And then I picked up Sweet Off the Record. Which was also released in '77. This is a very good album as well. If you pick up their first album, it definitely is not, if you're thinking I'm trying to think of the album, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Sweet Fanny Adams, which many claim to be their heaviest. But a lot of those songs are also on Desolation Boulevard. There are two variation covers for Desolation Boulevard, the US cover and the European cover. Just like Sweet 4 There are two variations, US cover and the UK cover, but I picked up this one. I got Give Us a Wing coming, and I believe one more coming. And then I've been slowly but surely acquiring more Black Sabbath, and picked this up for a decent price over at Discogs. I picked up Black Sabbath, The Eternal Idol. Of course, this one has Tony Martin on vocal, and you don't hear much jibber jabber about this album much. It's a good album. I like it. You know, of course, everybody's familiar with the Ozzy era and the Dio era, but of course, Ian Gillan was in there, and he was in Born Again. And so I picked this up. This is a gold letter, or a gold stamp promo. So I've been picking up some more Black Sabbath. Some of them I'm looking for Tear, but that's outrageous. I'm looking for some more of their earlier stuff too that I want, but I don't have. I do have quite a bit, but I don't have it all. But anyway, a couple Black Sabbaths. And then I showed this in the CD update. I finally got this here a couple days ago. I got this Conception. Let's see, what was it? State of Deception on vinyl. Good album. Very pleasantly surprised with this. Of course, Roy Khan on vocals. I think he's been in the last couple. There's Roy Khan from Camelot. And then I picked up, these were cheap. I couldn't pass them up. More of a goth rock band. A goth, or, let's see here, trying to think. Goth fused heavy metal. If you like In Solitude, The Cure, Sisters of Mercy, you'll probably like Idle Hands. I believe these guys are out of Portland. And, this is Idle Hands Mana. To me, it's more metalish than goth. But, what is it on? It's kind of a blue vinyl. So I picked that up for a decent price. It's on the Eisenwald label. So I picked up these two for probably 30 bucks total. And then I picked up their, I believe this is, well, I get a download card, but this is kind of their EP. I picked up Idle Hands, Don't Waste Your Time. They are really starting to take off in the States here, getting pretty well known. This is on kind of a red with a black splatter. Again, goth infused heavy metal. Pretty good stuff if you're into Idle Hands. I know Banger Metal, when they do their reviews, Sarah Ketteringham from Schmolder was very high on these guys. So good stuff, Idle Hands. And then these just came yesterday. Some new wave of traditional heavy metal. But I believe these guys are out of New York. The band is called Natur. And this one is called Afternoon Nightmare. It's on the Crypt of Wizard record label. Picked these up over at Hookchild. Here is the inner sleeve. Looking for a release here on this. I don't see it anywhere on here. Just black vinyl. Get a poster as well. And these were actually pretty limited. I think only 200 of each were made. And then I picked up this one here, Natur Smoking Mirrors. This is more of a semi-gloss cover, where that one was more of a matte finish. And here's the back. Anyway, here's the inner. This was a 2015 release. Black vinyl as well. So, Natur, some more traditional heavy metal. Hard to keep up with it all. These I picked up over at Rockadrome. These were restocks, or when they were getting more in. I missed out on the first one. I know these aren't second pressings, these are first pressings. Of course, these are more probably not really, well, they're probably bootlegs, but they're official bootlegs. Picked up AC/DC live at the Gore Ballroom in Cleveland on the 22nd of August, 1977. That was the original lineup. That was made in England, 2020. Radio Loop Loop is the record label. You get what you get with AC/DC. Of course, I do love the Bon Scott era. This was a restock. This is an early 70s band in the vein of Black Sabbath, Hawkwind, and or 70s hard rock, prog rock from Northeast England. A lot of these bands were kind of one and dones, and you never heard from them again. But they're finally being emerging on new labels. A lot of these labels are redoing a lot of their early stuff, and this is a band called Cycle. So what I read in the description is probably pretty accurate. This is on Rise Above Records, so it's a good label. This is Cosmic Clouds. So actually this is 2 albums. The first and second, self-titled, from '71. Originally released as a private pressing of 99 copies. So it was redone again and put on here. And then the second album was recorded in September of '73, and it was previously unreleased, so it's first time on vinyl. Cycle. And then I picked up Attila. This is not the Attila with Billy Joel. This is a hard psych band from Spain of the early 70s. And it is progressive rock, psych influenced music. There are only 2 tracks on it. Part 1 and Part 2, El Principio del Fin, Part 1 and Part 2. So, this is put out by Wawa Records. This was repressed, 500 copies. Originally released in '75. And there were only 100 copies of that album pressed back in '75, so pick this up. And then I picked up, I sent one to Scott. I picked up the new Seraph Ungol, Forever Black. In this album, which is Ice Blue Black Marbled Vinyl. First album in 3 decades. And then I posted a picture of this a while ago, and Steve from, I can't think of it, what his YouTube channel is, he asked me about this. Well, this is Sirith Ungol, the deluxe edition, which includes the gatefold LP, a bonus LP in exclusive color, mud green, black marbled vinyl, the CD, a bonus CD, a slip mat, a flag, 2 patches, and a metal pin. Strictly limited to 1,000 copies worldwide. Put out by Metal Blade Records. You might be able to find these yet. I think this was, I paid $80 for this. Well worth it. Came across this band. Let's see here. Here it is. On a YouTube search. I heard this one before the other one. I heard this is a new wave of traditional heavy metal band out of the UK. On High Roller Records, the band is called Skyrider, and their album is Volume 2, which is album number 2. 5 tracks, kind of an EP of sorts. Very good new wave of traditional heavy metal. I think Cloudy Milder has shown that he has some Skyriders. Well, I don't know if he has both, but I know he has this one. And I think he just got this one. This one is Volume 1, which has also got 5 tracks to it. Again, new wave of traditional heavy metal. High Roller Records. I found these over on eBay for a decent price, so I picked them up. Definitely pick them out. If you're into a new wave of traditional heavy metal like we all are. And then this band is this is going to be high on my list, in the top 10 for sure. This is a band out of Sweden, and they are really starting to make, especially this album, they're really starting to take off. The band is called Gomorrah, and Divine Judgment. Not really new wave of traditional heavy metal, more straightforward heavy metal. Let me see. Maybe Judas Priest at times, maybe a little Metal Church, newer Metal Church, but fantastic album. Definitely picked this up. I'm glad I did. I picked this up over, let's see, where the heck did I get this? I don't even remember. But it's a double album set. It's got 11 tracks. Probably could have put them on one album, but great album from Gomorrah out of Sweden. This is the second release from this German band, and I'm talking about Torpedo and Mechanic Tyrants. Again, some new wave of traditional heavy metal. This German band does a very good job at what they do. It's on Gates of Hell Records, so if you get Gates of Hell Records, you're definitely going to get quality heavy metal. And this is no exception from Tyrant. And the photo is familiar to me, but I just can't think of the guy's name. He's in movies quite a bit. But definitely has the Torpedo. First album had the Torpedo as well, so good album. And then I picked up these a while ago. Picked up 3 of these. I've been wanting to get more in my collection. I think I have 5 now. So I picked up some Samson. This is Head On. It's put out by Sanctuary in 2001, and it's on 180 gram vinyl. This is the second album from Samson after their 79 bluesy release. This is the first to feature Bruce on vocals. So, new wave of British heavy metal band Samson. They also picked up this one as well from 81. Of course, this also has Bruce on it, and this is Shock Tactics. See that or not? So glad to have that. And then I picked up Survivors, and they were a 3-piece from Samson. And this one is on, let's see here. It's on Thunderbolt Records. So I picked up some more Samson. Well, they don't fall down. I got a few, about 5 more maybe. And I picked up a band out of Texas, first album they put out in 23 years. Technical progressive metal from Psychotic Waltz. And the God-Shaped Void. Very technical metal. It's their 5th album. And it's a 2-album set on 180 gram. And it also has a bonus CD involved. So, some great music from Psychotic Waltz. And then I think I have this, I'm not positive. If I do, I'll pass it on. A band out of New York, female fronted. The band is called Tower. 4 songs. This is Tower, Yesterday and Tomorrow. And new wave of traditional heavy metal, female fronted style. And let's see here. Here's the Inner. Out of New York. Like I say, I'm not sure. I think I have this. But I bought it anyway, you know. Sometimes I double up and stuff, and that's okay. I just pass it on. And then I picked up these over at Hopechild. I think these next ones are all Hopechild. First up was this. The band was called Angel Sword. And I picked up their cassette first, because that's all it was on cassette. And then it came out on CD. And then it came out on vinyl. And again, more new wave of traditional heavy metal. And it's put out by Underground Power Records. It's lime green, so I'm not going to take it out, but this was everything was kind of cassette, CD, vinyl, 7-inch. I think there's a 7-inch too, but good stuff here. And then I seen they had their first one here, Rebels Beyond the Pale from Angel Sword. Again, new wave of traditional heavy metal. I believe these guys are out of, I think they're out of Greece. And then picked up a band called Verdelance, band out of Canada. Their album called Colossus, put out by Cruz del Sur label. And black vinyl. Here's the inner notes here. Some straight heavy metal here. Verdelance on the Cruz del Sur label. Album Colossus. Band out of Canada. And I picked up let's see here, Quaid LaHue, also out of Canada, and Love Out of Darkness. It's on Adult Fantasy Records. So the more traditional heavy metal. And 3 left. I'll show you this one first. This is kind of more into the stoner doom genre. Band out of Greece. Band is called Stonus, and the album is called Aphasia. They are out of Italy, and great stuff if you're into stoner doom. This is very good. Gotta love the cover. Check them out. And then I picked up, I gotta grab one thing. I'll be right back. All right, that was quick enough. Anyway, I was watching. I think it was over on Facebook, and somebody was talking about Max Webster. Somebody posted a million vacations, and so Max Webster got kind of involved here, and the guy had showed this Max Webster. And it is the Party Classic Album Selection 78 or 76 to 82. It has the EP. It actually has self-titled, High Class Borrowed Shoes, A Million Vacations, Live Magnetic Air, Mutiny Up My Sleeve, Universal Juveniles, and the Kim Mitchell EP. And there's also one more in there. That is the bootleg, which is well worth buying this for. I think I paid $70 for it. I had to have it. I love Max Webster. So, in addition, I did go to pick these up. I didn't have this one. I found a decent copy. Cover's in great shape, got a little dang. I picked up the self-titled Max Webster on Anthem Records. And I believe this is a Canadian release. Yes, it is a Canadian release. And so I was glad to pick this up. And during that Facebook episode with Max Webster, he had mentioned, one of the guys had mentioned about picking up this, which was Max Webster Diamonds. This one was previously released, but I picked this up for a decent price. So mostly live stuff. Hard to find that sometimes, but I picked it up. Glad to have it. And anyway. Part 1 of the mail. I got like 3 more to do, and I'll hopefully get them all done before the weekend comes. So anyway, if you got any comments, leave them below, and take care and keep it heavy.